Hello, today's story is called Timothy Catchamouse. Timothy Catchamouse was a little black cat. Timothy Catchamouse was a very long name for a very little cat, so everyone called him Tim. Tim lived in a hole under the steps of a very old house. He lived there with his mother and his sister Tessa. His mother's name was Peggotty, but everyone called her Pegs. One day, Pegs was going out. "You can play in the garden while I'm away," she said, "but remember this. A magician lives in this house. Everyone says that he's very grumpy, so if you meet the magician, you must be very polite." "I'll remember," said Tim. Pegs went out. She ran across the garden. She crept under the gate and out into the lane. Tim looked at his sister. She was fast asleep. Tim jumped on her to wake her up, but she only said, "Go away," and went back to sleep again. Tim looked out of the hole. The sun was shining. The sky was blue. Tim went out into the garden. Tim saw a tree. The tree was growing near the house. Tim ran to the tree and began to climb up it. Tim climbed to the very top of the tree. He looked down and saw the house. The roof of the house was very close to the top of the tree. Tim jumped onto the roof of the house. There was a window in the roof. Tim saw the window, and the window was open. Tim ran up the roof to the window. He looked down into the room below. He saw an old man sitting in a chair. The old man had long white hair and a white beard. "He must be the magician," Tim said to himself. The magician was fast asleep. Tim leaned over to have a good look at him, but his foot slipped and he fell in. He landed right on the magician's knee. Tim dug in his claws and held on. The magician woke up with a yell of pain. He saw Tim standing on his knee. "Where on earth did you come from?" he asked. "I fell in," said Tim. "Then you'd better fall out again," said the magician. "Take your claws out of my knee and go away." Tim pulled out his claws. He looked up at the window. "I can't get up there by myself," he said. "We'll soon see about that," said the magician. 1, 2, 3, and you're back in the tree." He snapped his finger. Tim felt himself flying up in the air. A moment later, he found himself back in the top of the tree. Tim climbed down the tree just as Pegs came back into the garden. Tim ran to meet her. "Tim," cried Pegs, "where have you been?" "I've been to see the magician." It was very exciting. "I expect it was," said Pegs. "But you'd better be careful, Tim. Magicians can work magic." "I know they can," said Tim. The magician did work magic. I flew up into the tree. It was very exciting, but I shall be careful next time. The end. Thank you.